What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's YouTube video. This is going to be episode 6 of the rebuild series. So episodes 1 through 5 were each one of my individual workouts I'm doing on my 5-day split. And then today is going to be a kind of obviously a redo, not a redo, but filming my back and shoulders day, but I'm filming at Esporta for 2 reasons. One, they actually have some better piece of equipment that I absolutely love. They have a chest supported back row as well as, a shoulder press, like a conversion shoulder press. So I'm really coming here because I've had this membership ever since Katie lived in Dayton. I'd use it here occasionally and also in Cleveland when I visited. But I also think about making a change in terms of the gyms that I'm going to. So my buddy Chris and I went to a new gym called Beat Performance, something like that, not too long ago, and it had better lighting, better vibes, maybe a little bit different equipment, so I'm gonna have to adjust my program, but I think I might be changing over because honestly, it was less busy. If I go around this time each day, each morning, like mid-morning, it shouldn't be busy at all versus when I go to Crunch or Esporta. Like if I'm not filming, it's completely fine. But if I ever want to film, I feel like I'm getting in people's way. I just feel like there's a lot of people, lots of eyes, things like that. So I might be changing up my gym membership for the month of March. So I also need to cancel this membership. So coming here to get the workout done, film it, and then also probably cancel my membership and potentially come back. Yeah, I mean, have the option, right? Reversible decisions are great. So I can try out the new gym for a month, see how that goes, see if I like it or not, and then of course go from there. So we're gonna head inside. We got back and shoulders, as I mentioned. I will throw up the workout over here. Might be a little bit different here. Some exercises specifically might change, but I do have a really nice chest supported machine row that I'll use twice today that I absolutely love. And then my plan is, I don't think they really have a good place to do posing in there. So my plan is to go back to the apartment gym afterwards and just do some posing and talk about the update on my weight gain, how I look, my physique, all that kind of stuff as we kind of wrap up the rebuild series in the next month or so. Let's get into it. This is the machine I was talking about. Pretty basic. I actually don't know who makes it. It looks like Matrix makes it. And there's one just like this at Dixie Fitness where I used to train that was a Cybex that the new gym I'm considering joining also has. And it just is so stable, so smooth. Just nothing like it. You can do a low neutral grip row, you can do a high wide row. I'll actually do both today. But yeah, this is one of the pieces I'm like, I want at my home gym absolutely no matter what. I mean, T-bar rows are great, other chest support rows are good, but something about this, just the fluid, the motion is so nice. So we're doing 2 sets here. We got 255 loaded up and 5 to 8 rep range is what we would be in. One of my headphones died during that. So one thing, I love these little Beats. You guys can see these guys. These things, I used to love these things, but now occasionally this left one doesn't charge in the case. So it's like either have to charge them every single day to make sure that this gets some charge, or like when I put it back in the case, sometimes it doesn't connect, or it stays connected to my phone, it doesn't start charging, so then it dies. But luckily, we do have some corded headphones, so I'll probably pull those out because like one headphone playing and one not is kind of weird. So that was a little bit annoying. But yeah, 2 sets here. Then we'll be doing that converging shoulder press as well. And just to show you guys, so as far as these go, they have these little dots on the bottom of them. They're supposed to connect to little dots in here. And like, I think they're connected. I kind of move them around and they click and they sound like they click, but when I close, sometimes it doesn't charge. So as much as I love these, I've had these for years, actually this is my 2nd pair. Sometimes it's really freaking annoying when they don't charge, especially if I'm gonna go for a run or something, but luckily we have the old school corded headphones, so we'll pull these out and use those. Alrighty, second exercise of the day, going with the shoulder press, machine shoulder press, but like I said, this one is slightly converging. Still isn't the best I've ever felt. The best I've ever felt was the one down in Florida that we had. So yeah, still on the lookout for a perfect one in Cincinnati, but next closest thing is gonna be this guy. I still do feel like, I don't know, maybe it converges. It's like an 8 out of 10. Let's go with that. It's good, but it's not the best thing ever. We got 2 sets here, 2 working sets, I should say. So I did 25, 45, 45, 25, and then now 245, so 90 aside. 2 sets here, 5 to 8 rep range. Last week we did 85 per arm for 8. So this week, hopefully 90 for, I mean, ideally 8, but if we drop in reps a little bit, but we increase the weight, we're good there. All right, still going. Pronated grip. Could do neutral, but honestly, I don't feel like it works as well for me. Just the music going. All right, we hit 8, so we'll go ahead, take a solid 2-3 minutes, try and match that, do 2 sets of 8 would be huge, because I can just increase the weight again next week. I think I'm getting really strong really quick. At the same time, it's kind of as expected, right? Coming off an injury, the strength should come back pretty quick, and I'm still not as strong as I was before my surgery, so still some room to grow, but we got about a month left before we start the cut for the summer. So we got about a month to yeah, get as big and strong as possible before we cut down and get lean again. So talk about more of that later, but gotta breathe, rest here, and we got a lat pull down machine. All right, 25. Okay, so we were supposed to do the lat pull down machine, but somebody's still on there, so rather than just waiting around, just go ahead, go to the next exercise. Well, technically not the next exercise, because I want to do back, shoulders, like alternating exercises throughout the workout. So instead of doing, which we would have done was lat pull down machine, then lateral raises, we're just gonna go ahead and do the high row, lateral raises, then the pull down machine. And if I have to move it around again a little bit, I will. Biggest thing there is just being efficient with our time here, not trying to wait around or ask to work in. At this point, knowing I have some other exercises I can do, but if it wasn't my last 1 or 2 exercises, I'd probably ask just to work in, but all right. Big difference here between the neutral grip low row and the high row, pretty much the seat position too. So I'll go from being like pretty much way up here, rowing down to my pockets or my hip pockets, versus all the way down, is that connected? Yeah, all the way down here where I'm rowing high and wide, a little bit more upper back, a little bit more rear delts. So 2 very different rows done on the same machine, which is a blessing. It feels so good. And biggest thing here too is like, I'm trying to go like right here, right? I'm not trying to squeeze back. I couldn't even squeeze back if I wanted to because of the machine. I'm trying to go like right to about here, and same thing with the low row, right to about here. This little motion right here, a little more rear delts, a little more shoulders. It's not the goal of the exercise. We'll do some rear delts and some shoulder specific exercise for that. But yeah, I just love this machine, how smooth it feels. Like I said, the new gym I'm thinking about joining has one just like this, but it's called a Cybex. And I think it's even smoother, feels even better. So really excited to get that back in the program. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead, rest, 2 sets here, 5 to 8. We just get 8, so if we can get 8 again. And then we'll head over, do the lateral raise, and then the lat pull down machine. Alrighty, next exercise we're going with is the cable lateral raise. Doing 2 variations of lateral raises right now. We got the cable version and then dumbbells on my full upper body day. Just like the cables a little bit more. We have these cuffs. I think I got these off Amazon. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's the, this is the brand, maybe? Yeah, honestly off Amazon, maybe $8, $9, something like that, but they're an absolute godsend for lateral raises, just so you don't have to worry about your grip strength, wrist, things like that. So I just want to be just about below, I would say, yeah, just below your kind of like your waist when you pull it out, about 90 degrees right at the bottom there. Stabilize with the off arm. And up. About spreading the arm as you go up. It's not just like lifting up the arm, but like spreading out and up.
Go ahead, give ourselves, I don't know, 1 to 2 minutes in between each arm, just because we're doing unilateral exercises, so make sure we have the same, essentially, energy going from one arm to the next, and obviously from set to set too. So get a little bit a second, and then I'm trying to think. I think last week I did 20, but I don't know how many it was. I think this is a 6 to 10 rep range exercise. Looks like we had 20s for 9. Just got 9 again, so no major increase there. But I mean, I will say if you're increasing every single exercise, every single set, every single week, you're probably not trained hard enough. Like there should be some like little bit of stall out now and again, at least in, I think you're more advanced. Like if you're brand new to the gym, yeah, 5-10 pounds a week, sure. But as you get into a routine, deeper into program, like don't sell yourself short, but also realize that, yeah, not every week's gonna be an increase in weight or reps on every single set, every single exercise. That's just like, I mean, unreasonable to say the least, even though it sometimes does happen if you're in a building phase or like I said, like a rebuilding phase. I'm also okay realizing like, wow, I just like gained a rep on almost every other exercise, 5 pounds on the shoulder press. Okay, my shoulders are now gonna be a little more fatigued than they were last week doing the lateral raise. So things like that kind of happen too. But yeah, we're gonna do left arm, 2 sets here, 6 to 10 rep range, and then hopefully we'll have that lateral raise machine open. Alrighty, second to last exercise, which normally is done a little bit earlier in the workout, but no worries there. We got the machine pull down. This is another matrix piece of equipment, so kind of not really converging. I guess it converges at the top, but I guess it diverges technically as you pull down in terms of like the back, which I'm not mad about. It actually kind of feels really, really good. So I'll actually kind of start with a very narrow grip, and you guys will notice as I pull down, it kind of diverges and spreads out. So I love the movement. I've tried a couple different lat pull down machines that this gym has, and this just feels the absolute best. So we kind of decided to roll with it. So sometimes it's not so much just like, oh, like one machine might be quote unquote like more optimal than another. Sometimes like, does it feel good? Do you like it? Do you progress on it? Just go ahead and do that. So that's what we're working with here. Let me get some music going. 2 working sets, 5 to 8 reps. Just feels so good. Also, of course, using some lifting straps. I don't know why sometimes I prefer to use these lifting straps versus my Versa grips. It really just depends on the machine. Like the Versa grips are easier if you have 2 hands and you can't really get set like a row. But for this, I can stand up, I get these hooked on. And I think I do feel like I get like maybe a slightly better hold using these, but the Versa grips for convenience sake are just as good. And just, I used a little bit of chalk on there, or a liquid chalk, just make sure I drop my hands so it's not slipping too much. But I gotta catch my breath. I talked too much right after the set. We got one more set here. That was 8, so if we can match 8 for the next set. And we've got some reverse rows or reverse pec decks for the rear delts. We'll be done. We went ahead and finished up the workout with those rear delt flies. But the one thing, I couldn't film it because essentially there's like one main walkway throughout the weight area, and the rear delt flies are literally on that walkway. So in order to get an angle that you guys would have been like actually seeing something happen, it would have been in everyone's way. And as much as I do want to film content for you guys, I don't want to be that guy in the gym that makes like it obnoxious and gets in people's ways. My goal is to always kind of be stealthy about it, keep it out of people's way, keep it more so on the machine I'm on, but there's just no way to do it. So I did do some rear delt flies just on a pec deck machine. Basically stick the arm out, bring it behind. Pretty basic, you guys have seen on the channel before. And then we're gonna go ahead back to the apartment. Hopefully no one's in there, so I can do some posing in the apartment gym, which fingers crossed no one is. And if they are, I might be just like kind of work my way around where they are, so I can give you guys a physique update as well as go over my weigh-ins, because the Super Bowl Sunday on this past Sunday, just a couple days ago, did definitely spike my weight, but I'll talk about that here in a second. So let's head back to the apartment and get some posing in.
We've made it back to the apartment, about to whip up a post-workout meal, but first things first, as far as the actual progress photos, or I guess the physique check that I filmed, luckily no one was in there, but of course, as I'm filming the physique check, someone walks in, so had to make some adjustments there, but still got it done, just to show you guys what we're looking like right around 171. So I'll throw up some some happy scale over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this past month, as of today, we're averaging right around, if we go to the scale first, averaging a morning weight of 171.4, and this is up quite a bit in the last couple of days, because the biggest thing was Super Bowl Sunday was the 9th, February 9th. As you guys saw, I was like right around the 169.6, and I jumped up about 2 pounds, and then another pound within Monday and Tuesday, which is totally expected, right? I had some pizza, I had some wings, I had some ice cream, all that kind of stuff, which I enjoyed because it was Super Bowl. I had some people over to my parents' house. Went over to my parents' house, got pizza, all that good stuff, had a bit of extra calories, and the fact that I'm not in a calorie deficit, right? So I had that big surplus on Sunday night, but then I didn't go ahead and decrease my calories Monday. And this is different. It's dependent on what your situation is, right? If you're in a fat loss phase, it makes no difference, right? You just get back to your calorie deficit, the weight will slowly come off. If you're in a building phase, it depends on how long of a building phase you're in, right? Like I know my building phase I only have about a month left in my building phase before I start my cut for the summer. So I'm not being too worried about like 2 or 3 days and trying to bring my calories down and adjust for it and see my weight come down. I was like, okay, yeah, that was a big surplus. I'm gonna hold some more water weight, I'm gonna hold some more food, but I didn't gain 3 pounds of fat in one day. Like my guess is I maybe ate like 600, 700 calories more than I normally do. So that's maybe what, like 0.2 pounds of actual fat that I maybe gained that one day, but I also had a great workout the next day, hit some PRs, so on and so forth. So yes, my rate of weight gain did increase. I'm gonna say that's mostly because of the Super Bowl, but also it was kind of planned, right? I knew I was gonna have more calories. I knew my weight was gonna go up a little bit, and my weight before then was right around the 0.6, 0.7 range, which is completely fine, and now it's closer to 0.9, which is as expected, but things are gonna slow back down because I don't have a Super Bowl coming up, right? I don't have another day where I'm gonna eat a bunch of pizza, ice cream, salad, stuff like that in the next month or so. So without further ado, we'll head over to the reports, and we can see right here, we're seeing the highest weigh-in of 172.6, which was yesterday, up 2.2 pounds versus last month, trend line right around 1 pound, that's in this current month, and then up 1.7 pounds in 12 days. But as you guys saw, we had the 171.6, jumped up to 172.6, and then back down to 171.6. So I'd expect my weight to kind of hover around the 171 mark for the rest of this week, maybe up to 172, 173 by the end of the month, and with the goal of being 175 when we start our cut around mid-March after we move and are officially settled in, and I have that 90-day cut plan. So as far as that goes, initially my thought was to do my 90-day cut from, I think it was March 24th to June 22nd, the day we leave for the trip. But at the same time, I don't love the idea of ending my cut the day before I go on the trip. A, because of content, I wanna make sure I can film everything, get a actual video out to you guys about the cut. So like the 90-day transformation, if I end my cut and go on vacation, I'm not gonna have time to film a final update, give you guys progress photos, talk about it, edit, and then leave for vacation, like unless I pull an all-nighter, which I don't wanna do. So I might make an adjustment. Instead of starting March 24th, maybe it starts March like 20th or March 15th, something like that, to find a good day, still do a 90-day transformation, but then give myself at least like a week, if not a little bit more, between the actual end of the cut and when we go on the trip to make some content about it. Obviously kind of level out my calories so I don't go into the trip on a very low amount of calories, but go back up to maintenance for a couple days before we go on the trip, so I'm not going to the trip super hungry or in a major deficit. So things like that are still being tweaked, as well as the calorie amounts that I will actually be using, but I'll also keep you guys posted on all that kind of stuff as we get closer. But for now, I would say at least, I need to look at the calendar, I always kind of forget, at least 4 more weeks of building. Let's see, so I'll definitely start the cut typically on a Monday too, if anything. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd probably say 4 to 5 weeks left on the building phase. Another maybe 2, 3, maximum 4 pounds will be gained in the next 4 to 5 weeks, and then we'll start that reverse diet. But so far, I'm really liking how I'm looking at the progress photos of the physique check I did today. Definitely noticing a little bit more leanness in the midsection. I think a combination of training abs again, the muscles actually starting to come back, and the fact that I started this building phase around like 160, 161, so I'm up 10 pounds in the last, let's see, December, January, February, in like 10 pounds the last 3 months or so, which is a pretty significant rate of weight gain, but I'm not noticing a bunch of fat accumulation. If anything, I'm noticing more size, more fullness in my muscles, a little bit more leanness, and a little bit more striations, which is great. What I needed to do on the rebuild, coming back to, my typical strength, muscle mass, and fat mass too. So yeah, that's going to be wrapping the video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, probably a couple more rebuilding videos like this, vlogs, workouts, things like that. Keep you guys posted on the new gym, probably maybe film a video about the move, stuff like that. And keep you guys posted until we start the little summer shred we got going on sometime in March. But see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.